Hey there, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I'm Gina Gabellini from Masterpiece Coaching and Training. And Masterpiece, peace is spelled P-E-A-C-E, like inner peace. And that is the whole point of this training, how to create inner peace while you're making all the decisions and doing all the things to get yourself launched online in your business. And or if you've been on business for a while and you've already been online, how do you make that transition into the next level version of your business? How do you upgrade to the next place of whatever success means to you without making yourself go crazy? That is the whole point. Here's what I know. I've been in business for, I'm like going into my 25th year. When I first started my business, I mostly helped people in corporations, top leaders, teams. I've worked for some of the biggest companies on the planet, well, at least in the US, not on the planet. Lynda.com was my client, State Farm Insurance. I've worked for the US Mail Service doing coaching and training. And when I first started, I was just saying yes to everything. You want me to help coach on that topic? Great, I can do it. You want me to help you on this? Yes, I can do it. I was a yes girl, which sounded good, right? You need business. You need to say yes. You need the money to come rolling in. However, all of a sudden, if you start saying yes to everything just because you need the money or you think it's like, okay, it's an opportunity, I'm going to say yes. Pretty soon you have this hodgepodge of things you said yes to. The business itself feels a little bit disconnected because the things that you're creating, the decisions that you're making, the way you're marketing, the opportunities you're saying yes to are not congruent. And we don't know where they're leading. So I'm going to tell you some of the, the best, easiest ways that I know how to get, and it's what I do with my clients, it's what I do with myself, on how to get from, wow, there's all these decisions and opportunities in front of me. How do I choose the exact ones that are gonna surge my business to the place I wanna go, to make the impact I wanna have, to make the money I wanna have in the time frame that I wanna do it. And I don't just mean, this is the time frame, this year I want to create all the money or the clients, but meaning on a day-to-day basis, how much time do I wanna spend in my business? How do I wanna keep the balance? How do I wanna keep flow? So in a sense, we're going to be talking about flow this whole time. Flow is that sweet spot where every single thing you do leads to the next optimal choice, to the next optimal choice that leads to your best and most awesome clients coming in, that leads to the best business model for you, the best marketing, the best of everything. We're creating best case scenarios every single day from the get-go. Whether you're new or you've been in business for 25 years like me, or even longer. So I have a cheat sheet of some bullets I want to cover. Other than that, we are rolling in the minute. This is not scripted. I have no idea what it's going to come out of my mouth, but what I know is it's going to be good. So one of the things about doing anything online is there are a lot of people out there in your industry or just in online marketing itself that are going to tell you this is the right way to do things, or this is the only way to do this. If you want to succeed, this is the way you need to launch online. Or if you want to get traction on social media, this is the thing to do. And you know what? You can't do all the things, even if you have a team. I have a team now. I can't do all the things. I would have to have a ginormous team with dozens and dozens of people. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's not what I choose to do. But it's hard enough when you have a team, let alone if you're a solopreneur and maybe you just have one other person helping you, or maybe you are the whole gig. You are the only one. So there's only one way to navigate all the choices. And I'm going to tell you what that thing is right here, right now. And if it resonates with you, you're going to love the rest of the training. If you think it's all like, whoo, and you want to dismiss it and you want to minimize it, you're not going to get anything else out of the rest of the training. I think it is the most important thing I teach in my business. And I teach a lot of super nitty-gritty online strategies but I always include what I'm about to tell you is always a part of every training I do, because if we skip this step, it doesn't matter how good our strategies, our marketing, our business model is, because without this, we're going to constantly be making mistakes, and there is going to be no flow. And when I say flow, it means how you move from one action to another in your business, and the flow of money and the flow of clients. So what that is, the number one thing that you need to do, this is not hype, by the way, this is a real, literal, I don't even know what to say about it. It's the real stuff. And that is to tune in to your inner business expert. We all have one, super underutilized. People discount the information that's coming from their own inner business expert all the time. It's a free resource that is like your best adversary in business that there could ever be, because nobody knows your personal likes, your genius zone, what makes you happy, what feels fun to you, more than your own inner business expert, which is just another name for your own inner guidance. And inner guidance comes in a lot of ways. And the reason why this is so critical, and most people go, yeah, I agree, we all have inner guidance, we all have intuition, we all have, sure, this voice in our head that leads us to the best and the best optimal choices for our business. But something weird happens to business owners, especially, where they forget that little detail. They save it for when the shiz hits the fan and things have gone south and they got a big pile of doo-doo in front of their face or a big problem to fix. And then they start tuning into, nothing I've tried so far has worked. Let me go within. Let me think about this. When we need to be doing that every single day. We try to figure things out from our head, and the information that's in our head is usually collected data from all over the internet, our past experiences. There's a lot of head trash in here, lots of head trash, right? If you hear the words in your brain, yeah, but that's head trash. If you hear like, oh no, but I can't do it that way because I saw somebody on the internet say, if you want to get results for this particular strategy, you have to do it this way. Or my peers are doing it this way and they know more than me, or maybe they're more successful or they've been in the business longer, so I should do it that way. That stuff you need to filter out. Like there's lots of amazing data out there that we've collected or that we see every day, but if it's not put through the filter of our heart and what feels good, you're going to make a tremendous amount of mistakes. You're going to do things that feel like an uphill battle to implement. You are going to launch things online and put a lot of time and effort in, and you're not going to get great results. You might get okay results, but you'll end up feeling disappointed that you put so much time and energy into something that did not pay you in abundance. So what the hell is your inner business expert? It comes to people through, you can have it through thoughts. You can feel nudges. You can feel inspiration. You can feel creativity. These are all the ways that your inner business expert shows up. Now, how you use it is a different story. So I think one of the best ways to tap in and tune into the infinite knowledge that is constantly fed to you through your inner business expert is writing, asking questions. So I like to just whip out a piece of paper. You can grab a journal. You're much more focused when you're actually writing versus just thinking. It's so easy to get distracted on other thoughts and get in these thought loops if you're just sitting there thinking in your head, even if your eyes are closed. So I like to just write a question down. For instance, one of the questions I like to ask all the time is, what's the optimal action for me to take to get X results, whatever X is, whatever you want results with. Or if I'm thinking of a new thing I want to offer online, I'll say, what do my 5-star clients most want right now? Just an open-ended question. And then I'll just start writing. It'll feel like you're just writing. It's just you. You're just making stuff up. Doesn't matter. Just do it. What I know is if you keep writing until you're complete and you don't feel like anything else is being downloaded, then what you get is spot on. It might feel like, yeah, this is common sense, whatever my answer is, but don't dismiss it. The problem is most people actually don't do this type of exercise. They don't take the time to pause and look within and ask these open-ended questions. Most people are furiously looking to see how much action they can take, how fast they can implement, and they want to do it right. Anytime you want to do it right, you're going to end up getting it wrong because you're trying to be perfect. You're not acting your own creativity and your own inner wisdom. You're solely relying on the expertise of someone else. So I'm going to give you, for instance, of how this happens real time in the online world. Is I have taught entrepreneurs for years how to actually market and do online launches. Very strategic process, right? There are good ways of doing it and very bad ways of doing it. So people will come into a program or coaching with me and they'll be like, okay, Gina, give me the goods. And I'll say, okay, these are the things that we have to do. But I always say, but before you choose the pieces that you're going to put together, I want you to feel into each part of those. Because if you're doing it just because Gina said, there's no heart, there's no passion, there's no commitment to it. You're just trying to get it done. You're in your head. You're checking all the boxes off a list. You have no connection to that infinite knowledge. You have no connection to your 5-star clients, the ones that you most want to attract, because everything is coming from up here. The only time I have ever sold out programs or made a lot of money in a short period of time are the times when I was most connected to my heart and I saw my 5-star clients as my co-creators in the endeavor. I imagine that I literally invite them in. They're here in the room with me, even teaching this right now. And I'm imagining that they're helping me dictate the words that come out of my mouth. I'm also asking them open-ended questions as if they were a live person sitting right here in front of me. 5-star clients. By the way, before I go on, I didn't explain what a 5-star client is. Very important. And this is another critical mistake that people make in their business. They don't design their entire business model and everything that they offer for their 5-star clients. Now, 5-star clients are the clients that are perfect for you in all the ways, not just like your ideal avatar. I keep doing the quote thing. I don't know what that's about. So your avatar is usually a set of, they're male or female, they live in this country or they live in this situation, the real practical, tactical things about your ideal client. But a 5-star client is the one that you have a pulse with. You are in love with them, they're in love with you. They're people that you would want to hang out with over and over and over. A 5-star client is going to be a loyal client. They're not going to buy once. They're going to buy over and over and over. Like my 5-star clients will take an online program from me, and then you'll notice I'll see like orders coming through for other things they're buying. They'll buy multiple things within a 1-week period, sometimes 1 day, over a few months. And I'll see those clients buying year after year. Anytime I offer something new, I've got a 5-star client saying, I'm in. This looks amazing. Because everything I've done is geared towards that kind of client. And of course, if you're going to see someone a lot coming through your business, especially if you do things that are live, you don't just sell products, you're doing coaching like me, or you have an online program where you're teaching something and you're actually interacting with people on social media, in forums, you are going to want to love and enjoy those people. So what are the other aspects that would make them a 5-star client? I know this sounds ridiculous, but it's so true. If you expect 5-star clients to show up, that also means you expect them to pay whatever price tag you put on anything, whether it's low end or high end. You expect them to show up. You expect them to give you referrals. You expect them to accept critical feedback or coaching, if that's what you do, like me. You expect them to give you, raving testimonials. You expect them to do the work. So a 5-star client shows up in all the ways that are perfect for you, and it's like they are custom ordered for you. You don't tolerate anything else. So you have to come into it with an expectation that, of course, I'm only attracting 5-star clients. Even a 4-star client can be a compromise. Now, a 4-star client is better than a 1-star client for sure. But a 4-star client is going to be okay versus oh my gosh, I love these people. So I look at my inner business expert as my co-CEO in the process of making everyday decisions. I am constantly following any kind of inspiration. Like, this is how I know me personally, and this is how you'll know too. When you're making the right decision on something, you're really excited about it. Now, you might second guess after, only because you're not trusting the first answer that came through, which was a yes. If you look at something and you're thinking, like, for instance, I just joined a program myself this last week. It wasn't something I was looking for. I had no intention of even learning the strategy that this person was teaching, but I started watching some free content, and all of a sudden I thought, oh, I'm doing this. Oh my gosh, this sounds so fun. I am totally inspired to do this. And I thought, I have no idea what the offer is going to be on how this person is going to help me do it. I don't know how much it costs. I don't know what the time involvement is, but I'm so clear. This is my next big thing. So I said yes on the spot. I don't have time to do a new program. I don't have time to implement something new. And yet my whole body was a full body yes. Like, yes, this is spot on. And so once you have that feeling, your job is to not second guess. It is to lean all the way in, knowing that you will, once you say yes to something, I don't care if it's buying a new program or it's committing to like a new funnel online, where you're going to create a new way for clients to be attracted to you, or you're going to create your own program, that once you say yes, you will be provided with the time, the space, the knowledge, the help, the support, everything you need to execute in a way that feels good, that feels in balance, that you love it. And that's your indicator. If something feels like a should from the beginning, it may not be the right choice, or you may need to reframe the way you're looking at doing it. And that's another way I use my inner business expert, by the way. If I know I want to do something for my business, but I'm not like, woohoo, I'm excited to do it. I'm like, all right, I know this is good for my business. It feels like the right thing to do, but I'm not excited about it. Then I'll ask my inner business expert, and I'll start journaling, and I'll say, how can I make this fun? Or who can help me make this easy? Or what's the optimal way or timing for me to execute this? So that I'm constantly going within to get my answers versus going up here. This is just data swirling. Just because there's data swirling, just like you go out on Google and you see all that data out there, it doesn't mean you're going to go do everything that's on Google when it comes to doing your business. That would be ridiculous. It's the same thing for just accessing what's in your brain without going to your heart first to determine, is this a hell yes, or is this a eh, or is this a no? Because if you're in resistance to something, it's either not the right thing for you to say yes to, it may not be the right timing, or you need to look at the way that you're going to implement or execute. We're always looking for, how can I create this to be a win-win? Otherwise, it's not the time. And let's say you have 5 things on your to-do list for the day, and they all seem important. It's like, oh my God, I have to get all this done if I want to attract clients right now, today, because I need money. Well, regardless of what you think is going to make you the money, I'd still check in with your inner business expert. What's the optimal action for me to generate money today that feels easy and enjoyable? Because your inner business expert might say, you know, why don't you go fool around to do some graphics for Facebook? It has nothing to do with selling. Or maybe it says, why don't you go jump out on the trampoline with your kids? That's what you should do right now. And how do you know? Because you feel like it. Or your inner business expert, at least mine does, and I know a lot of my clients say this, my inner business expert told me to just relax and kick back and don't worry about it. And people are like, what? How can relaxing be my most optimal choice for money today, to attract money? And because it is in the relaxing that you're going to get more innovation, more innovative ideas, more creativity, the right messaging, the right words, the right marketing, the right language, the right offer for you to create. That all comes through in those pockets where you let yourself breathe, where you check into your heart. So that's how you optimize, utilize, and implement through the support of your inner business expert. Now, pitfalls. You are going to think that you were just talking to yourself. You are going to think it can't be that easy when your inner business expert gives you these cool ideas. I just released this new 5-day challenge that people had to pay for, and it was a different way of launching than I'd ever done before. And I was really excited when I decided to do it. Felt like the right thing. I had the right title come through. I knew it was the right idea. I just wasn't sure it was the right format to deliver it. So I started second guessing. I had to check in with my inner business expert and remind myself that if I was inspired to do it in the first place, and it was a hell yeah, and I could totally sink my teeth into it, that everything that was happening now was just head trash, and to come back to the reason I was inspired in the first place, to recommit, to trust my inner business expert. Okay, let's talk about magnetizing your most ideal clients without compromising your time, values, or prices. Okay, offers. These are the things I know people struggle with all the time. What is the right and perfect offer for me to deliver that my 5-star clients will eat up? And how do I price the thing? And how do I not compromise myself in the process? Most people don't even ask that question. They compromise themselves all over the place. They add things into offers that they don't even want to do. Like, for instance, people will say, well, Gina, you know, currently, at least at the time I'm recording this, when I deliver a program, I always include a Facebook group if I do the program live. And a lot of people I love interacting with clients. A lot of my clients don't want to interact with clients, but they think because they've seen me do it, or they've been in other programs where people offer a forum and they're in there answering questions, or they do live Q&A calls with their clients with the program, that they should too. I'm like, no, you don't. You can do it whatever way you want, because remember, you're attracting 5-star clients, and 5-star clients are always attracted to the way that you personally want to deliver them. So for instance, let's say you want to deliver an epic experience, which you should. You want to give your clients and customers a 5-star experience. And let's say that you are delivering something that's transformational. So people do need some interaction. You can find a solution to interact or give additional support. Maybe it's not you doing the extra support. Maybe you do want to do a forum where people can just ask questions, but you don't want to do anything live. That way, you can do it on your own time frame. You could do it at midnight if you want, 7 o'clock in the morning. You can skip weekends. You're not committed to a certain time frame. As long as you deliver the results, then your clients won't care. And you just have to tap into inner business expert and say, give me a way to give these 5-star results to my clients. Let's figure out a way. And you don't say yes until it feels like yeah, that will do it. That feels really good. And so the way to magnetize your ideal clients is to go after 5-star clients, to design everything from the top to bottom for your 5-star client. 2, when you're marketing, your marketing needs to feel good. It should feel like a love connection. It should feel like you're writing a love letter to someone who has already said yes to you, and you're just supporting them to the next step to get the results that they want. So whenever I'm doing any kind of marketing, the very first thing I do, whether I'm writing an email, I'm doing a Facebook Live, I'm generating advertisements or social media posts, who do I invite in? Inner business expert. It's like, okay, we're going to sit down, we're going to powwow. You're just going to help me say the message in a way that my 5-star clients are going to love up, consume, and get excited about. I don't think, what is the best thing to write to magnetize those clients? Because what happens is entrepreneurs get really weird when they market. The nicest people can turn into weirdos. And what I mean by that is people start saying what they think their 5-star clients want to hear to almost convince them that they should take the next step. People start getting fancy with what they say. They talk in a language they don't ever talk in. They start getting really formal if they're informal. They start sounding hypey if they're not hypey. You know, my normal way of talking, I'm very passionate. I use a lot of slang words. I might throw in a curse word or something. I don't use the F word because that's just not my thing. I know a lot of people who market do. I don't use that language in my programs or my content, so I'm sure not going to say that when I'm marketing. But I might say things like, when the shizzle hits the fan, because that's something I would say normally. I just talk. I just write like I talk. I just market like I talk. And the way I talk is, if you are in front of me and you've already paid me millions of dollars and I'm just supporting you, I don't have to try to convince you of anything. If I am running the information, whatever I'm going to market, I'm running that through my heart. I'm doing it with the help of my inner business expert, and I've invited in what I call the higher self of my 5-star client. We're going to write the stuff together. And how do I know if I'm writing from that space versus my head? It feels easy. It just comes. I'm not trying really hard. It doesn't mean I don't go back and edit and try to make it effective. And it doesn't mean that I don't try to use good copywriting strategies. I do. But the first time I go through, I consider whatever I'm writing, even if it's a 2-sentence thing on social media, it's a love letter from me to my people. I assume my 5-star clients are already on board. I'm not, if I find I'm trying to get it right, trying to convince, trying to sound cool, then most likely I'm going to be getting it wrong. The worst thing you can do in marketing is try to be fancy. And I don't mean you can't make things look beautiful and try to do your best, but when you over try, you're going to repel clients. You're not running the filter through your heart so that it feels good. It should just feel good, and you should feel excited about it. And if that's the information that your inner guidance told you to write, then it is the right and perfect thing. So sometimes, for instance, when I'm writing an email to my email list, I'll think of the subject line, what I want to say in the subject line, and then I'll write my email, and then I'll go back and I'll see it when we finally send it out, you know, a couple days later, and I'll see the subject line, and I'm like, that could have been better. It's like, it doesn't matter. That's what I was guided to say in the moment. So it was the right and perfect thing to attract my 5-star clients. And the results are always there. That's how I know. But as soon as you start questioning your results and doubting your results because you're looking for those immediate results, and if they don't come in immediate and you start second guessing, you have just disconnected from your heart. You're not getting information from your inner business expert. And now you've gone back into head trashville. Just say no to the head trash. All right, what else do I want to share with you? When you are choosing the optimal products and services for your 5-star clients, I always like to look at, first and foremost, this might sound backwards, but I always feel into my heart and think, what would be the most exciting, fun thing I can offer right now? Like, just what sounds fun? What sounds so fun that I could work on it? Not that I would, but if I could work on it 24/7 for 30 days, is it exciting enough for me to be able to do that? And if not, there needs to be some adjustment. So once I kind of get my idea of what I want to do, then I go to, what does my 5-star client want? What is the optimal thing to offer on this topic of whatever I want to create, or this idea? And so that I take my idea and I meld it with what my 5-star clients want. So it's not a compromise for them. They're going to get everything that they want in it. And the way I deliver it and the way I market it is going to be all about my pleasure. If it's not pleasurable for me, guess what's going to happen? It is not going to connect with your 5-star clients. It is going to be an absolute mismatch. It's going to be a disconnect because you're disconnected. And when you're disconnected, your 5-star clients can't trust you. Why? Because you're not trusting yourself. You're trying to do the right thing. You're not trusting yourself, because when you trust yourself, you're always going to do the right thing. You're never going to screw it up. Does that mean, though, that you won't continually upgrade things and tweak things and make them better? Yeah, you totally will. Every day we're evolving. Every day we're getting new information, new feedback from our 5-star clients, new information from our 5-star clients' higher self and our inner business expert. I have a program that I've been delivering for years. It's called 5-Star Client Formula. It started out with a totally different name called Profit Quest. after 2 or 3 years of offering it, one of my launches, I had like 200 people in a program. And then the next year it went backwards. And I thought, that's so weird. My marketing felt like it was on its game. I feel like I'm doing things better. But what occurred to me was I still was I was trying harder, right? Like I kept trying to upgrade the results. And what I came to was the name of the program was wrong. It was named something that my 5-star clients don't even relate to. The program is about attracting 5-star clients and making more profit, but my actual 5-star clients don't think at night in their sleep, I just want to make more profit. I just want to make more profit. If only I could figure out how to make more profit. My 5-star clients think about, I just need to attract more clients. That's the language they use. So we revamped and rebranded. It was a big undertaking. I already had the whole thing done, and now I'm going to go rip it all apart and perfect it and upgrade it. And yet, once I decided that, oh my gosh, this is going to make it so much better. It's going to be such a direct connection with what my 5-star clients really want. I was eager and actually excited to change things. And guess what happened? Of course, the very next year I launched that program with the new name, the new message, the new branding. It was still the same guts on the inside, still the same potent information. We had more clients come in. It was easier for me to talk about it. So you're going to constantly upgrade, but you actually go to the higher self of your 5-star clients and your inner business expert to get that information. It is so much easier this way. So much easier. And you know it. You know when something's off. You know when you're not quite sure about that piece. Sometimes I'll have a whole web page up on something new that we're going to offer or something that we've been offering. And I'll go back and review it and I'll think, I hate that. That one word doesn't feel like me in that sentence or that headline. And if it doesn't feel good, it's going to bother me. And if it's bothering me, what it means is that is information saying, yeah, there's a more optimal word there, or there's a more optimal graphic for that, or there's a more optimal way of communicating this. Trust your feelings. I used to have this really bad habit of just wanting to get things done where it's like, I got it done and I just want to pass it off to my team and I don't want to deal with it anymore. And now I know better. It's like, no, you need to review it again and probably a couple of times, go through it slowly. Once you actually execute a strategy in your business, or let's say writing copy or creating something new, do the first round is all inspiration. It's like, whoo, let the flow happen, let it go. Then go back, make sure it's strategically sound. And then I do one more test, and that's the feel good test. I run through the whole thing. I run through the process, or I'll run through the copy, whatever it is. And all I'm looking for at that stage is, how does this feel? Does anything feel off? Does anything feel weird? So much so that even if my website person, mostly the page looks amazing and graphically beautiful, I'll be like, there's something that bothers me about that photo. Or like, all the photos on this page are young people. And the truth is a lot of my clients are over 45, over 55, and I have people in their 60s and 70s who have had a successful offline business and now they're online. And I'm like, it's not my business. Well, I love all these bright, perky people, these young people on the page, they look great. Something feels off to me because my 5-star clients are varied in age. They're from 20s all the way up into their 70s. I've had people in their 80s. So this isn't a good representation. It doesn't feel good. It will bother me every time I look at the page. So if anything bothers you, don't make it okay. Take the moment to change it. Now, I'm not saying make so many changes that it takes you 3 years to launch the thing. Heck no. There's a lot of imperfections in what I do. But if you're running through something, you're like, you know what? It's a clear representation. What I've got feels good. Roll with it. Because then you can add the bells and whistles later. Nothing has to be perfect the first time out. You just have to look at it and feel like, that feels good. I feel proud. I can roll that out, feel in integrity, feel on brand, feel on message. And I can be proud of that. That's your indicator when something's ready to roll out. Now, emotionally, you might be scared and you might be second guessing things. That's a different story. But when all the other pieces are done and you've run through them and they feel good, It's time to roll it out. Don't wait. Your 5-star clients are waiting for you. Don't sit here and hem-haw in your head trash and rip them off. They are waiting. If you don't do your part and you don't let them know you're alive and you're not marketing and you're not out there taking the steps, you're depriving people of what they want. And they want what you've got in the way that you're doing it. And if you don't hurry up and get your stuff out there, not from a place of, oh, I have to hurry, but like, my people want my stuff. I got it. Well, let me help them reach their dreams. Let me help them get this solution. Let me help them get this fix that they need in their life or their desire. Then you're hurting people, not helping them. So let's help them and get your stuff out. The other thing I want to talk about, and probably the last thing, I'll say that's the last thing and then I'll come up with something else because it's me and my inner business expert here with you right now, is getting the support and the resources and the clients you want are all dependent on you deciding that you can. If you haven't decided that you get to have every piece of your best case scenario, then you're not. So let's talk about the best case scenario mindset. I don't do anything in my business unless it's these two perspectives. One is, this thing is going to crush it and I'm sure of it. It's going to be awesome. Or I'm like, this sounds fun and this sounds inspiring. It will be an experiment. Either way, I'm not attached. I am excited about the possibility. But then I say, I always ask myself, what is the best case scenario with this? And I don't go to like what I believe can be true. I ask myself, what is the best case scenario, even if that sounds science fiction, from where I'm at right now, with the resources I have available, with the knowledge that I have right now, and what is my best case scenario and who can help me make that happen? So a lot of times I'll just start writing a little brainstorming list. Okay, inner business expert, who are all the people and what are the resources that can help me make this easy? Because if you try to figure out everything by yourself, and while yes, Google is a very awesome resource, sometimes it doesn't have all the resources. Sometimes you need hand holding. Sometimes you need to hire someone to actually help you implement stuff. I used to try to fix things on my website in the very beginning, like when I first had my website. Oh, I would mess things up. And then I would have to hire somebody else to fix all the stuff I messed up, which means I wasted all my time. And it takes longer for someone to go fix messes sometimes than it does just to create it right the first time. So yeah, you're gonna have to invest in stuff. And you have to get behind, if I want my best case scenario, and I'm being guided to hire someone, whether it's a web person or someone who has knowledge or a mentor, that you need that for yourself to get from point A to point B. If it feels like a hell yes, that's going to be your easiest route, then guess what? You'll be provided with the right person to do the job and the money to do it. I know a lot of times people don't want to invest a lot of money in their business. They think, especially if they're going online, well, everything should just be free. Why do I have to invest in my business? And I'm thinking, well, it's no different than if you have a brick and mortar business. Like my husband has a brick and mortar business. He has a shop. He designs and builds and installs custom stairs. He has to have a shop with people in it and machines that do the work and a showroom that people can come in and look at their designs and all the things. Just because we're online doesn't mean that we don't need things to make our business easier. We need systems. You know, when someone says yes to one of my programs, if I have to sit there and send an email to every single person, manually, I'm not going to have any time to teach them anything. I'll be doing all the administrative work. We need to invest in software. We need to invest in things where people have a genius zone and gifts and talents that we don't, because they'll do it right the first time. And you can always, just like you can attract, and you should only focus on attracting and delivering to your 5-star clients, you're only going to hire 5-star people, a 5-star coach, a 5-star web person, a 5-star piece of software, the thing that is right and perfect for you. And until you do, I wouldn't say yes, because you're going to be pissy about it and you're going to get mad and you're going to get frustrated and you're going to get resistance. And when you feel all those feelings, you are not in the flow. And when you're not in the flow, you can't attract clients. You're like a client repellent, like with bug spray. Keep away from me. I got smelly, icky juju on me. Go. So your job is to constantly come to what's the best case scenario and how can I get aligned with that and who can help? Easy questions will make a world of difference in your business if you will just take the time to do it and trust yourself. I think it's automatic for us to try to fix things really quick. It's automatic for us to skip steps. It's automatic for us to just listen to somebody else's advice or watch what they're doing without checking in with ourselves. And I'm saying, hold on, wait a minute, and just come within. Journaling can be your best friend. You can do it through other ways if you like to meditate. I suck at meditating. I have to be in the mood. When I want to filter out the world and actually tune in and get a quick answer, I'm always going to go down to writing. Writing is your greatest point of focus. You will come up with the best ideas. And in fact, if you made that a habit every day and just took 10 minutes to do that every morning, connecting in with your 5-star client and or your inner business expert, you are going to be a badass in business faster than you could have ever thought possible. When you have decided, like, no kidding, I am always going to have best case scenarios, and you come from that perspective and you start expecting it and you take steps designed to know that, hey, even if I don't have the full answer of how I'm going to get from point A to point B to get that best case scenario right now, we're looking for the next baby step. We don't need to get all the steps at once. We can have one little breadcrumb a day, because what happens is momentum starts getting created. And then pretty soon the answers are like flying at you and you're like, whoo, 24 hours later, I got everything I needed to implement this and make it happen. Or, oh, look, cool. I just put an offer out there on the internet and I literally had 20, 30, 50, 100 people say yes in less than a week. That's the kind of results I'm talking about. And that all comes from inner guidance. I shouldn't point here because I've been pointing here saying head trash, head trash. It's really a melding of the head and heart. The head is not a bad place. There's information there. It just needs to be put through the filter of your own inner guidance. So hopefully you're going to take what you've learned here, even if it's stuff that you've heard before, and maybe I put it in a way where it feels a little bit more practical, or it's reminding you of the power of tuning into your inner business expert, because it is the most trusted expert there ever is in all the lands and all the universes specifically for you. It will encourage you to always bring your own badassery, your genius, your gifts to the forefront of what you're doing. It will have you trust yourself. When you trust yourself, your clients trust you, and make this a daily practice. And it also isn't just a once a day practice. It's an all throughout the day thing. If you can't save it for when you're just in a crisis, yes, it will help in a crisis, but you'll have barely any crises, if any at all, when you're doing this, when you're tuning into inner guidance, when you're running things through the feel-good test, the litmus test of how does this feel? How does this feel? How does this feel? So instead of having crises, you're just going to be having small pivots. You're going to be upgrading, breaking ceilings. Woo, that was good. Check me out. This is my new set point with wealth and the amount of clients I'm bringing in. Oh man, check it out. Let's go up here. You're just pivoting. You're upgrading. You're not putting out fires. You're not creating catastrophes. Why? Because you're in the flow, baby. And that's the place to stay, and that's the place to be. And you're going to have to ignore reality. You're going to have to ignore a lot of people who are going to be telling you things that this is the only way to do it. That the fear of missing out on something cool that other people are doing. You're like, oh my gosh, that person just made $1 million doing that thing. Or that person just made $20 million doing that thing. If I want to make $20 million, I have to do the same thing. No, you don't. If you're excited to do it and you're on fire to do it, then that's the thing you should do. Otherwise, don't worry about it. There's infinite ways to attract your most perfect clients into your most perfect business and create your best case scenarios every day. You're just going to be choosing the things that are right for you and that feel good. All right. Thank you for being with me. Again, my name is Gina Gabellini. My company is Masterpiece Coaching, and Peace is spelled P-E-A-C-E. And go forth and tune in and live through your inner business expert, because it's the most trusted expert in all the lands for you.